Hello everyone, my name is Jeon Jang-un, a commentator on youth culture. I really love the history, so I'm studying and commentating for the foreign visitors. I'm the member of the youth culture corps, and nice to meet you. Nowadays the coronavirus spread in the world, so we have to wearing always the mask and wash our hands. So it's hard to meeting and introduce Korean culture or history to the foreign visitors, so I make the videos for the visitors. They're easily to watch. Now, first, thank you for your interest in the Korean culture and history. So, today, I'll introduce about the National Folk Museum. This place is, when I was young, I also visited a lot, and before doing this volunteering, I volunteer in the National Folk Museum in the Children's Museum. Before I start the commentary, I will give you some notice and precautions. We just look around the third exhibition hall, and first, don't run in the museum. Second is, when you take pictures, don't use the flash. The flash can damage the artifacts. And finally, you don't eat something in the museum because the floors flow to the floor. It can damage other visitors. It's simple and necessary to keep in the museum. Do you have any questions? Then, if you don't have, I'll start the commentating. Here is the entrance. Here is the entrance of National Folk Museum. This museum consists of 3 exhibition halls, a donation exhibition hall, and children's museum. The third exhibition hall is the place where individuals of the family who emphasized Confucianism during the Joseon dynasty. So we look around the birth and education and marriage, because we don't have enough time, so just 3 parts in the exhibition hall. Okay, here is the third exhibition hall. You can see the pictures, the Korean life passages. So now we enter the exhibition also. I'll talk a little bit quiet, and if you have the questions, also give me quietly. Now, this part you can see the two children gave birth in the first birthday. It's the Korean age the 2, but in international age the 1. Before introduce about this one, I'll talk about the birth. The birth of Korean life begins in Joseon dynasty. The succession of the story leading from father to son was the most important thing because of the Confucianism. So the heart of wanting, almost people want the son because they have to get in their house and become adult. They took a examination and become the officers in the dynasty. In most families, they pray to Grandma Samshin because they want to healthy boy birth in their family. So now this part is almost the life of Yangban, but it's similar with and noblemen and the royal family. It's almost similar. The first part is the bridal room. Bridal room is the marriage couple have their first night. As you can see on the screen, the butterfly is flying. So it is assumed that the couple had dreamed a butterfly. So this means is that called Tamon. All people, some people dream the Tamon, but I told, I heard my aunt had a dream of coming out of the tiger, so my mom gave birth me in 2003 November 1st. So here's the many things about give birth the son or and healthy. And before I talked the Grandma Samshin, she is the responsible for the family and child care and keeps the child. After giving birth, she cared for the health of the child and the mother. You see in front of the Samshin table, it means thanks to Samshin for helping child to be healthy. Before giving birth, the mother raised rice and seaweed soup and water. Up the Samshin table in the Samshin jars, covered with Korean paper and placed in the house or a clean place. Now we return the first birthday. You can see the two children and some food on the table. That is kind of festival because in Joseon Dynasty, many babies died early. So we held the events for the child, and also the main event is the dorjabi. It's in meaning of to catch some object on the table. Like nowadays we put money, pencil, or some cooks and other things. Then it's just a myth. If catch the pencil, it's become the scholar or work in the education. And also catch the money, it's become rich. And some other objects similar with the career, they become the adult. And also the color of mixed with the black and the red. That kinds of thing means to prevent the bad spirit about the weakness or the illness, because nowadays the treatment is really developed, but at the time the children died early, so put that kinds of food and prevent the children from the illness or bad spirits. Now I'll talk about the education. The education is also important that time and